Hello, how's everyone and their families doing? I hope you are all doing quite well by the grace. Let me see. Let me go here. Why is it done? Okay. So today we're going to be talking about financial exploitation, which is something that has been happening online on social media because you have some people who wants to find love on the internet. Some are going on dating apps, others are through Facebook, TikTok, almost all the social media platform. Sometimes you go interact with people, the way a person talk, the the sound of the person's voice, the knowledge that they have, and something about the person is very unique, and you find yourself being attracted to that person, how the person pay attention to you and talk to you. So, like, when it comes to financial exploitation on social media, we're going to be discussing more about love interests, whereas some individuals will even propose to their love interest, and from there they just go down the drain. So, if you have knowledge about such topic, you can by all means share your productive contribution via comment. If you want to join in um, via audio, video, you are more than welcome to be part of this discussion. If you have experienced something like this, or you know someone who has experienced something like this, you can also come and share. That's like, if you want to. It's not by force that you have to do that. So I do welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. When you do come through, tap on the screen for me, share the program, invite friends for them to also be part of it. I was watching a video on TikTok some months ago. I believe sometime last month. I don't quite remember when exactly, either last month or last 2 months, somewhere in between. I saw a video of a young boy. He was a teenager. He wasn't 18 yet. In 18, US consider such individuals to be adults, but he was, um, I believe, between age 13 to 17. So he made friends with some individuals on the internet, and he's underage, of course. And these friends that he made friends with, he thought they were female. So he was interested in one of them, and not knowing that the picture that this friend had displayed as their profile picture was actually some young men from Nigeria, and they were scammers. So they asked this teenager who is very inexperienced to take pictures of himself, and he thought that he was taking these pictures for a female friend, which he shouldn't have done it. Parents, talk to your children and monitor the activities your children are having on social media, because you don't know what is what. Because sometimes you do have adults portraying to be the same age as our children. So we have to make sure that we're paying attention to our children's activities on social media and stuff like that. Okay. So this individual took pictures of himself. Some of the pictures about his, genital, private area. So he took it and sent it to them. Once they got it, they started, blackmailing him, and they threatened to display the pictures on all social media platform under the young man's contact, his friends and everyone. And he panicked. They asked him to pay $1,000, and he's not working. He's a child. Like, he panicked. He gave them all the money that he has saved. I believe it was $300 or $400 that he had. So he sent everything to them, and they were like, they were still going to send um, the pictures to all his contact because he didn't give them the amount of money that they had requested for. Um, and this was happening in the middle of the night, around one something, and at his parents' home, while his mom and dad were sleeping in the other room. He was in his room alone, going through all this, cyberbullying and being exploited financially without his family being aware of it. So, being that it was too stressful for him, he ended up on a life in his life, taking his life. And it's sad and sickening that you have some people who do not even value other people's life, that their action can cause someone's, lifeline. So, the government came, got involved. FBI got involved, and they found out that it was some individuals, three individuals from Nigeria. Um, Two of them were expedited to U.S. and for them to be trial. I believe the third one is still fighting to not to be expedited to New York, to U.S. I'm sorry. Two of them were expedited to U.S., not New York. So, I mean, I'm hoping the third one will also be brought to U.S. and, face justice, because it's not right. And as I said earlier, parents need to educate their children, whom they interacting with, the type of, questions being asked, um, the type of questions being asked, oh, T-Mobile, I got you guys. Okay. The changes I made. Okay. Um, Questions that they asking, information that they seeking from you, if they asking any personal information about your parents or yourself and stuff like that. We have to educate our children very well, because it's easy for any predator, a molester, a rapist, bad guys, to kind of like trick individuals, that include adults also. We have heard stories and have seen things playing out, whereas our elderlies, because grandparents, elder people, most of them are lonely. So, some of them stay home by themselves. They don't have other family members, visiting them on a regular basis. Some of them have, a home health aid people helping them, but they do, uh, they don't do living with them. So some of them are lonely, alone at their house and stuff like that. So I mean, social media is for anyone. Everyone can get on social media. You have children who will lie about their age and also have accounts on social media, especially the ones whose parents are not paying attention to them, and they see a lot of things going on. And you also have some individuals on social media, doing, I mean, having some adult conversation, and also sexual exploitation discussion, touching and stuff on social media, because they have certain time. Some of them are doing it as their as part of their business, so kids are seeing things. You also have parents who have, like, channels on their TV without no parental control. So children, a lot, the new generations are computer savage, so they are able to pretty much, know a lot about electronics because they are being raised on it. Some of them, they play video games throughout the whole day. Brother Omari, Apomuti saying, welcome, welcome, welcome. I missed you yesterday. Where were you at? How's wifey and the kids doing? Uh, no, you never know. So, it is concerning as to, who will be a victim. And sometimes you have people, they'll be like, nobody's ever going to get me on that. I ain't stupid. When it comes to financial exploitation, you don't need to be stupid. We have intelligent people, independent people, strong people, people who lack of knowledge. Everyone on whichever level have been, some of them do become a victim because they don't pay attention. I mean, we hear the terms love is blind because a lot of people, when they are in love, their mind does not work. It does not function properly because, they make decisions based on their feeling. Hey, what's up, Jazz? Your name pops out for me because my baby girl's nickname is Jazz. So your name just stood out to me. I welcome every one of you. So it's a whole lot. Even some of us in here, we talking about it today, but I won't be surprised in that one of us will still fall a victim because we, some of us, sometimes we don't pay attention. We hear things but we disregard it. It happens a lot, right? When people feel lonely, they go on the internet, to interact with other people. And when they connect with certain people and the person speak in the way that they will like they know what they're going through, and become they will find themselves making that person their support system, and that always end up with someone getting hurt or someone being exploited financially. It will start with little things, and before you know it, you draining your bank account for someone just to help the person. A lot of people have like sad story out there. Some people are going through a lot. Some are true, others scammers. They know, they are charmers. They know exactly what to say to draw you in, make you their world, and before you know it, bam, you were scammed, right? So it's not easy. It's a lot. Hi, baby. What's up? Oh, so you have time to watch me. Well, I'm glad. All right. So we have to be very mindful. When we make friends on social media, or we get a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend on social media, they telling you all these stories, you seeing all these nice pictures, with some of the females, showing their backside to show how big their nash is, and showing you their chest, dressing with their cleavage, hanging up. So you'll be like, oh God damn, you'll be drooling and stuff like that. Especially, like the male get exploited financially a lot because I mean almost almost every male, almost, I said almost, I didn't say every. When they see the breast and the backside enough, some of them lose their senses. Sister Elizabeth Keller, Apomuti saying, good to see you. Mwah. Have a happy weekend as also. I'm over. Hey, Charlie, that's saying it is like videos, no pictures, no yeah, we post no be small thing. Hey, but enjoy life. That's what life is about. Okay. So, when it comes to love interest, right? Like a marriage where scammers create online profiles in attempt to, it's like a funny profiles, they use someone else's picture. I remember my husband K one time, someone K, you cannot get anything past my husband. Trust me. Some people try to like scam my husband, and they have like pictures of beautiful ladies and stuff like that, and this were the people behind the account were male, and like they're trying to engage in conversation with my husband. And I guess like one of them, his first message that he sent, my husband was able to sense it. It's like his antenna is like always up, and my husband asked him like a follow-up question, and the guy was dumbfounded before the guy can even get to engage back and forth. The guy account was no more. It disappeared. And Kay was like, these people are stupid. Some of them are stupid because they think they can get anyone. Mm-mm. Well, I guess they didn't think far, right? They were not hurry up. Kay shut them down very much so. And then there was another person who reached out to Kay, and the person happens to have a family member profile picture. And when Kate tried to ask the person a couple personal questions, the person could not answer it. So, of course, that account also disappeared. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it could be your picture or my picture someone be using. So it's like, on Facebook and TikTok, or all like, let me see which other platform I'm on, Instagram, um, YouTube. I mean, it's just Adwoa Odo, and I always have my picture on it, like that. But like right now, I have not put up any new accounts. So like those who have known me for a while, follow me for a while, when I change my pictures and stuff like that. So if any new account comes up or pops up, and you go in there and it's a new account, it's not me. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Okay, so you have people who I know, right? Sister Elizabeth, to tell you, it was crazy. Yeah, they they were smart, and Mr. K was hurry up for sure. I mean, he shut them down quick, and I mean, when it comes to the internet, social media, K is like ahead of the game. Like our kids, they have as of now they have Facebook and TikTok, but like their friends, people who will request to be friends, we kind of like, they will bring it to us for us to like go through to see which ones they accept and which one they don't. And this morning, in fact, I was going through my our son's the 16-year-old's TikTok account. And when I went through it, I saw some pictures, some people who are following my son, but my son is not following them back. And then, I was like, why are you not following them back? He was like, those people should not be following me. So, I mean, if they're following me, watching my videos, that's fine, but I'm not following them, because even the attire, the clothing that they have on is very inappropriate. You can see that it's one of those um channels that people will be doing inappropriate sexually stuff. So it's like, and he knows that to block if any of them, send him any messages or whatsoever. So he is knowledgeable about that. And I was very proud of my son, the 16-year-old, that he's not just following anyone, or like if certain people follows him, he doesn't follow back, because he's very knowledgeable about that. At least they listen when you talk to them and stuff like that. And then, in terms of when you become friends with someone, or someone shows a love interest in you, like complimenting you. Everybody likes to be complimented, don't we all? Why do we post our pictures on social media? Like, you post your pictures for someone to like, love, and stuff like that. And every now and then you get comments here and there. For people to, like, react to your profile picture, or a post that you put up and stuff like that. So what happens is that when you do get this type of people um on your page, sometimes you may um kind of like start having certain type of feelings towards that person. So I'm very particular, like when I'm commenting on people's, profile pictures and their posts and stuff like that, because I mean, I have to respect that most of my friends, that I know personally, and the ones that I have been friends with for a long time, or some I spoke to behind the camera, they do, most of them are married, right? And the ones that are not married, they know that I'm married. So like when I'm making comments, I make it neutral, because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm interested in them, re- in being in a relationship with them, or them feeling, or anyone feeling that I'm interested in someone because I made a certain comments and stuff like that. So a lot of times that's the things that happen, right? So you have to uh, set clear boundaries. You have to be respectful to other people, because you have to understand those who are married, who are in a relationship, they might have their hey Grace, how are you doing? Thank you guys for the love. The, tap the screen for me, yeah. Okay. So, like a lot of times we have to be mindful, because it's always good for us to set boundaries. Every once in a while, you have someone come along and, will make inappropriate comment, or like unacceptable comment. You just address it and move on. If the person is not able to uh, be, be respectful, then you block the person. That's what I love about social media. You don't necessarily have to entertain every single person. I mean, people who cannot um, restrain themselves, you can lock them out of your way. Okay, so let's move on. With the love interest, what happens is that at times, depending how deep you are involved, right? You Because sometimes some people fall hard, right? When they fall for someone, they fall really hard, and they oblivious to certain red flags, right? They don't see people they closer to may point out to them, but they may not be able to receive it well, because they feel so lonely, and they in the rush to like be in a relationship with someone. And of course, who would not love for someone to call them my queen, my king, tell them they love them, uh, tell them how beautiful they are. Like, you have someone call you in the morning, miles away, long distance relationship, and be like, how, like, good morning, sunshine. How you feeling? I'm missing you. Like that, you're going to feel something inside you, because you may not likely have people telling you that, or you have never been in a relationship that the person i- able to like compliment you. So what you do, right? You're going to like kind of like love that whole interaction, and then they will come for more, and then they will start like, when the financial exploitation will come in, like, some of them, they will start as small, like, um, their phone screen is like, broken. When they were talking to you, they just, ask a friend's phone and they put their chip inside to call you. So as of right now, they do not have their own phone to use, so they may not be able to call you as much as they want to call you. And you being kind of like, too deep into the relationship, or the building up friendship, you will want to talk to them almost every day. So they will get you to offer to buy them something, right? Or to like give them a certain amount of money if they can buy it and ship it to you, because a lot of scammers do not want you to know their address, of course. So mostly, you may end up, offering to send them money. They will give you where to send it to or how to go about it. Some of them are not traceable, and then before you know it, you send money to that person to buy a new phone. Meanwhile, they have a phone, but that's their way of laying the trap for you, right? Or sometimes they will tell you, oh my gosh, like, um something happened at work, you borrow money from a friend, and you were hoping to pay them back within a couple days or weeks, and now, like, your mom is not feeling well, your father is not feeling well, your younger sister, you the oldest, so you taking care of your younger siblings, and you don't have any way and means because your work does not pay enough. You see where I'm going in? There's going to be a lot of stories behind it, right? For you to kind of like fall into the trap, and then you might feel sorry for that person and be like, well, I think I can help you, because if I send you this amount of money, would that help? They'll be like, I mean, it's not much, but if you would like to give me that amount of money, I don't mind. Thank you so very much. You are my angel. I love you. That's why I love you so much. I mean, like, we do have some people who have been in relationship and no one has ever, tell them that they love them and stuff like that. So a lot of times it's a lot for them. They become overwhelmed and they become victims. Okay. So just watch out for a lot of red flags, the conversation, where it starts and then where it's there up to, like, how many times the person is asking you for money. Be mindful of that. And then at times, if they are able to get you to take pictures with less clothes, um, when that happens, you, the victim, becomes emotionally attached to that person that you interacting with, where the other person will feel comfortable to start sending money to the scammer, right? And then we have also credit card scammers. uh, People living in abroad, you have some people, I mean, they use credit card, they know what credit card is about, right? So victims will be manipulated to buy gifts, and then gift cards, to the scammer, unexplained withdrawals, or to your accounts, from your bank account, right? Someone using you, someone may end up obtaining your personal identification cards, your debit card, and extra. Like, for me, every now and then, on my phone, I will get like text message that my bank um it has requested for me to pay my monthly bill, and I'll be like, because I do have a credit card from my bank, and I'll be like, okay, I already set up like auto pay. So if I have auto pay and I have money in my account, why would my bank send me a text message, stating that um, I need to pay my late bill because I don't have any late bill, right? And scammers, they don't know that you have auto pay, right? And then I also have all my account. I have the app on my phone, so I check my withdrawals on almost every other day or like on a weekly basis. I check my withdrawals, especially I need to tally, bills that I have paid and my balance in my account, because I don't want to have uh, do over like over withdraw money or not have enough money in my account, whereas any auto pay that I have, the check will bounce or stuff like that, because I have certain days that I pay my bills, and I have 1 week out of the month that I don't have any bills to pay at all, because I can't pay bills every week. No, then you won't be able to save money. So you have to like kind of set up your bills payment on certain days, certain time. If it's the first week or the second week or the third week, and then you can have the last week off, or you can have first, second, and last week, and then you have the third week off. I don't like paying bills on a weekly basis. It has to be bi-weekly or 3 weeks out of the month. So at least I'm able to like save money. Yeah, that's right. So you need to make sure like your account, you regularly checking your withdrawals. At times also, if you're not careful, because keep in mind that in every place, at the bank, in churches, at schools, workplace, so many other among your family, among friends, people who are closer to you, who knows, because some family shares their password, debit password with their loved ones, because if they are unable to go and withdraw money and they give it to a family member, this is, they do go and they withdraw it. So it's like sometimes you need to make sure you're paying attention that you don't have someone close to you or someone who might obtain your information from wherever, right, and start taking out money. I remember, like, oh my gosh, was it 2017, 2016? I went to work. I have a particular credit card that I have a certain amount of money on it. And I remember that day when I went to work, I had withdraw a decent amount of money to pay off the balance of that account. So I didn't have, I should have zero balance on that credit card, and I did it purposely because their um their interest was very low, and the holidays were coming. So I was planning to use that particular credit card for to shop the kids, electronic, if they want games or a particular electronic um system. I was going to use that card to buy it. So I paid everything off in the morning. And then in the evening time, I was getting ready to leave work. So I went on the app to check if the money that I paid off the balance has gone through, because when you pay for it, it goes through a process, right? And normally they will tell you the balance will display within 24 hours. But when it comes to money, the banks and credit cards, the money will be withdrawn less than 24 hours. So I went to check, and instead of zero balance, I have 1,900 and change. And I was like, what the heck? And it's telling me that day I withdraw that money by signing a check. And I was like, okay, first of all, I have never even signed a check for this credit card account. They did send me a check, no, but I never used it, because I wasn't planning to use it. When you withdraw money from a credit card, the finance charges is higher. It's twice the amount of purchasing. So I don't withdraw money from credit card. So I was like, what the heck? Where is this coming from? And I look at the time, and it's telling me, I guess in the middle of the day, I wrote a check and went and cashed the check. Oh my gosh, that's like, it was crazy. So I called the credit card company and I explained to them, I was like, I'm at work. When did I have the time to go and they were like, well, it was a check sign. And I was like, well, the signature might have my name, but it will not have my signature on it because my signature is very unique and nobody can copy it. So the representative was like, okay, um, take this number, call, we want you to like go and report it to the police. I guess they thought that I took out the money, so I wasn't going to report to the police. I was like, no problem. I'm gonna call 311 and find out my local precinct based on where I live, right? So the next day, you best believe at 8 o'clock in the morning, once I drop off my kids from school, I call out. I took a day off just to get all this done. So I went to the precinct from my neighborhood. And when I went, there was a lady sitting at the front desk, the information desk. So, I walked up to her and asked her, I was like, I told her the reason why I was there. I have my ID, my credit card, the statement, and everything. I print everything out. I have all the documentation that I needed to have, and she gave me a form I fill out. I gave my statement and everything. So it was like an black lady, so I gave her all the information. There was a police officer, a white police officer who was standing at the corner. He was the one that directed me to the black lady. So I went to this lady. I filled out the form. She read through it. And then she looks up and she looks at me. She was like, are you sure you didn't withdraw this money? I was like, okay, why would I be here reporting of a theft if I was the one who wrote the check? Because I wouldn't be here. She was like, oh, because the reason why I'm asking, we do have a lot of people come through, and mostly uh, blacks or Africans, and I was like, listen, lady, this is my statement. This is all the necessary information that I have. And I'm reporting of theft, credit card theft, because it was not me who wrote the check. They have sent me checks, but this check is like, even it looks like a new one, because the old ones I have at home, and they will send you from 100 and up, but this check that was written was 200 and up, the check number. So she was like, okay. But her attitude was very nasty. I didn't like it. And, she had an attitude. So I gave a little bit attitude for her to know, well, it's not every black person or every African who are scammers or thief. Someone stole money from me, and I'm coming to report it, so um the detectives can investigate. That's why I'm here. Why do you think I was like, well, I'm not one of those people who are stupid enough to come and report theft when they are the one who took the money, because the time that the money was withdrawn, I was at work. I have not signed any check for nobody whatsoever. So then, a lot of them had gone for break. So she said, she asked me, direct me to go sit in the waiting area and wait for detective. So I waited for the detective. An hour later, the detective came. I went up in his office. I gave him the backstory. He read through my statement and he was like, okay, Mrs. Vincent, I'm going to get on this. This is my number. At any point, call me. And then I have your contact number. I'll call you and update you on the investigation. I was like, no problem. Thank you so very much. And this detective was a detective, and he did not even question me. But guess what? My own kind is like suspicious, and I was like, this is just ridiculous, like, don't assume. Anyhow, so a week or 2 weeks later, the detective called me, and he was like, they found a trace of where the money went. They trace it with the ATM. I will ask him, I was like, well, where the person cashed the money, don't they have a camera to see who it was? And the person was so slick, right? When he went to the ATM, you can see it was a dude. When he went to the ATM, he makes sure that he stay clear from the camera, because I guess probably he's been doing this for a long time. This is Sage Williams and Mwakwaba. How are you doing? Uh, so like I was like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy. So they could not see him clearly. So the bank could not go with that. But the bank had to refund me that money because I'm um I'm disputing that amount because it wasn't me who took it. And then the detective gave me a letter, everything, a statement from the precinct that I did report theft, and they investigating and everything. So the bank was able to refund me that 1,900 and change back. That was a lot of money. The person did not. And then as the detective was investigating, so what the bank did, the bank did, because the credit card that I have, they also have a bank. They canceled that credit card number. They canceled all the checks. And then I told them I don't want them sending me any checks, right? I just want a new credit card with a different number. So they did send all that. They refunded me my money. My balance was zero back again. And this incident happened when we were going towards the holidays. So that's the time that you have a lot of scammers. You have to be alert. And thank God I have the app to look through my withdrawals and stuff like that, because I wouldn't have catch it. So 2 weeks later, the detective called me and they were like, they find, trace of where the money may have been cashed, right? Where they went to do that. It has no camera and stuff, but they know the place. And then I have the bank call me, the credit card company call me, and they were like, oh, someone was trying to cash another check, but they put a stop to it because they have already been alert. I guess the guy, after he cashed that amount of money, he figured he can go back and he wrote 2,000 to cash out. Like, okay. So they finally traced the person. They were able to go to at least the person donate some of the money that he stole from me and and gave it to charity. Can you believe it? You're going to do something good with the stolen money. That's just pure ridiculous. Hi. If it, well, I'm in New York right now, but I'm from Ghana, West Africa. Yes. So They find the guy, and he had to pay the bank, the credit card, the amount that he took back, the 1,900 and something back, because they find his behind. So the detective asked me if I want to press charges, and I was like, hell to the yes. I want to press charges because he caused me emotional stress. He doesn't need to pay me any money, but he needs to spend some time in jail. Oh, really? Love Ghana, the stars of Africa. I'm Ethiopian. Oh, wow. I see. Nice meeting you. And it's good to see you. Thank you for joining. Yeah. So you guys tap the screen for me, okay? Give me some love. So, like, you see how easy that someone can exploit you financially. Like, I put all the precautions in place, but still someone was able to try to, credit card theft. And they find out that when they arrested him, they were able to get a checkbook from him that has my name on it. So I guess when the postman came and delivered, because at the time I was using my parents' address, so how I don't know how my parents live in one neighborhood, but the check was found in another neighborhood, right? Which was like 2 blocks away from where my parents live. And I was like, how did a letter with, you know, um, personal check ended up in that area? Because, they have um, the project housing over there. How did my check ends up over there? I have no idea. I don't know if it is a connection or whatsoever, but it did happen, and it was like crazy. I'm coming to Brooklyn because of work reasons. I see. Well, when you do come, enjoy. Like if it, like, let me tell you a story about Brooklyn. Like I went to for Brooklyn, I love Manhattan because the directions is like just straightforward. So it's like I can kind of like uh kind of travel wherever I want to go without getting lost. So I had to go to Brooklyn a couple times, right? Well, I went there twice. The first time I went there, I got lost. And I said to myself I wasn't going to go there again, but I had to like go for some documents that I needed, and I needed to go pick them up in person. So the second time I got there, because the first time it was in a different place, I had to take the train to Flatbush and everything. So when I got there, I couldn't figure out which way to go, if I should go to my left or to the right. Because when I go to new places, I don't like to get lost, right? At least I need to have some sense of familiarity. So I, as I was looking, I saw this guy coming. So I was like, okay, he looks decent. Let me ask him. So I told him the street that I was going at, and I asked him which way to go, and he pointed the other way, right? Because I was going this way and he was going this way. So he pointed that I was going in the right direction, but I felt uncomfortable. And I look back, for someone going opposite me, after he gave me the direction, he turned around to go the same direction that I was going. So I was like, my my instincts kick in, like I don't disregard. Whenever, like, I feel uncomfortable, I feel something, I'm just going to not go at all. So when I saw him walking back and he's like staring at me, and I was like, okay, I need to go get me a Metro card. Even though I had a Metro card, I was like, to make sure that where I don't get lost. He was like, no, 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 you go ahead. I was like, no, it's okay. I'm just going to just go get another Metro card because the one that I have, there's nothing in there. So I'm going to refill it. And, I walked back to the train station. And as I got to the door, there was a security guard standing over there. And we have a couple MTA people working over there. So I stayed close to one of them. And I stood at the door looking at this guy. He stood there waiting for me to come out of the station. So I have to stand. I called the person that I was meeting that I was running late, and I let the person know the situation that I'm facing. And he was like, don't worry, just wait right there. I'm going to come over and give you the documentation because, I know this area pretty well. And I was grateful for that. So the dude stood there for like half an hour. And when I did not come out, he walked off to the direction that he was initially going. So, like his intention was not good. Brother Mike Mika, how you doing? We're talking about financial exploitation, love interest when you find someone on social media, you like the person, and then the person, as you guys keep talking, they will start asking you for stuff and money and gifts and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. So if you like, you can join in. So, like, after that incident, I said to myself, I'm never going back to Brooklyn. But I mean, like, people that live in Brooklyn, they love it. Some people find it easy. The I went there twice, the second time I went there, my experience. So the only financial exploitation, that's the topic today. Yeah. So after my second experience, I just said to myself that I'm not going to be going there unless it's work related, then I don't have a problem going. But if someone, invite me for a party or like for an event, I'll be like, no, thank you, because uh, I'm not familiar. Bonjour. Yeah. If I'm not familiar with the place, I'm not gonna go. But it's not a bad place. It's just that my experience over there with someone was like not pleasant, and I guess that person, he has like, I don't know what he was thinking, but pretty it wasn't something good, because for him to stick around waiting for me to come back out, he thinks my parents did not raise no stupido. Oh man, I am very aware of my surroundings, like especially when I go to unfamiliar places. My instincts is very high. I will look at every corner to make sure, like, where I'm going. And sometimes the steps, how many steps I'm taking from each. Someone will be like, man, that's crazy. No, it's not crazy. You have to be very aware of your surroundings and don't keep your guard down. So it's like, I work, like my work, I travel to the Bronx, to um Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island. Yeah. So those are the places. I don't have any case in Brooklyn. Excuse me. Nana, can you bring me water, please? I think I spoke too soon. I swallow. Oh, Lord Jesus. You see my glasses? Wait, oh, it's right here. I have it right here. Where's my eyes tearing up? Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Oh, Lord. Oh, thank you. Oh, you couldn't use the water. The Thank you. Instead of using the other glass, he used the wine glass. Mhm. All right. So, we have to be careful when it comes to financial exploitation. Sometimes you may feel um bad for someone's situation. I mean, scammers, as I said, they know how to, um they are charmers. They really know how to talk to people and get people to feel empathy for them, right? So some people feel obligated to like send them something, and some people literally feels that now they boyfriend and girlfriend, so they're going to get them things. So it's all around, right? I mean, elderly men, some of the female in the females, they go after elderly men. Just a few of them goes after young men who are like, uh, who uh who thinks they also like, they also have the game. But trust me, when it comes to scammers, they know how to get you. They will drill you in, so you have to be mindful of that. I mean, and they pick their victims. Truly, they like sometimes scammers know people by heart. Like, especially if someone comes on my profile, the things that I talk about and the things that I post, someone who is um who is experienced in certain area may be able to gauge the type of person that I am. So they know, scammers, they know their victims, and they always pick the gullible ones. And sometimes they will think they know certain people personality based on the things that they talk about or they do. So they're going to be able to fool them easily. I mean, there are some people who has been scammed, but because of embarrassment and stuff, they don't talk about it because they don't want other people to think that they were fooled that easily. But you just have to be mindful of that and take care of yourself. It's not every woman that some of you have to be in their pants, and some of them, they will get you to spend so much money. By the time that you want to meet with them, they will give you a backstory. And then before you know it, you guys are no longer boyfriend, girlfriend. The relationship is over, right? And then we have, hi, someone, you got people to say, it's good to see you. I'm talking about financial exploitation. Mhm. On social media with love interest, whereas people will even propose to their supposedly boyfriends and girlfriends on social media. You have some of them who will also engage in sexual activities online, and then before you know it, you feel like certain ways, so you feel like you are obligated to send them money. Identification cards, sometimes if someone gets a win of your not even social security, your birthday and stuff like that. Because on social media, sometimes I see some people, they have the year, the month, the day, and the year. You don't need to put the year that you were born. You can put the day that you were born. Then people can wish you happy birthday and stuff like that. So you have to be very particular on certain things. Don't put everything over there. I don't know. Some people don't listen. Um, and then Also be mindful. We also have couples. Some couples be exploiting from their partners, and you also have some parents who will be um, exploiting from their children who has some type of disability, because the parents will be in charge of managing their finances, and they be, instead of using the money for their children, they will use it for their own personal desire due to selfishness and stuff like that. So you have to be careful and pay attention to every single thing that's being done. They also, like, we have different type of scheming people on the internet. We have those who have, like, advance fee, self-proclaimed agents who works with the government. Let me tell you, like, you have to do your investigation. They also could be a recruiter, right? uh Investment scheming and stuff like. And an example of a recruiter, I'm not sure if most of the people here, Ghanaian people here, have seen a video of a guy in Ghana. He calls himself one man something something. That he was able to scheme and convince some young men to go to Russia for some jobs, and they find themselves in the front line of a war. hmm And they begging and asking for um, the leaders in Ghana to help them return back home. And according to some of the information put out there on social media, there were a few of the guys who did not sign anything. So they were able to go back. But then they have a couple of the guys, they signed some documentation. So they need to stay there and fight. They don't have any training in going to war. They don't. I don't know how that possible. And apparently this person who was able to exploit, and he's getting his percentage of money. He's exploiting them financially because he sent them there to get his cut of the deal that he made. And apparently he's also threatening them with juju and stuff like that. Simply Moria, welcome. How are you doing? I'm talking about financial exploitation on social media. So it's like, you see how easy that this person was able to convince some of the youth, to travel to a place. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, there are so many other places. Why choose Russia, knowing that there's a war going on over there? But they went because they're looking for jobs. So it's like, that is like some of those, scheming scammers out there. They would say they work with the government. Don't trust it. Why is someone, an agent from the government, calling you? What's the purpose of them calling you? And then the recruiters, they will be like, okay, we have this certain job or this and this and that. I'm going to help you guys get some documentation to travel to this, to travel abroad and stuff like that. If you want to travel, do it the right way, the legal way, right? For you to be able to have the opportunities. Don't trust. I mean, like, I have not worked with agent, and I don't think I plan to work with an agent because, like, there are so many scammers out there. You never know whom you're going to be dealing with, because it's not easy to kind of like work and get money. So when you allow someone to just come in and take your hard work earn money from you, that's very difficult, right? So it's unfortunate that these individuals, and I'm also asking, why did they even read the documentation before they sign it? I mean, when you dealing with someone, an agent, whomsoever, recruiter, whomsoever, and they give you documentation to sign, you always need to take time to read through it, the thin line, because sometimes when it comes to scheming and scammers, like the things that they don't want you to see, they will print it very small. My husband K has a magnified glass that he travels around with. When you give him something, he just pull it out and make sure he's reading all the fine line. When I get letters and stuff like that, the fine line, credit cards, I'm like using to make sure I see every single word. I'm reading everything, because don't sign your life away when you don't know what you sign in for. So I'm wondering, like, what the heck? Didn't one of them among those who signed the documents knew how to read through it to make sure that they fully understand what they sign in for? So I mean, like, as I said, the ones according to the report, some of the circulating videos, the individuals who did not sign any documentation, they were able to return back to Ghana. The ones who did sign it, they need to stay there and for the war, which has nothing to do with them. Even I'm not even sure if they getting money, but someone is exploiting them financially, and the person is in Ghana and he's nowhere to be found. Some people, they make it easy for other people to use them. So just make sure you take care of yourself. You don't get fooled. All right. So investment. Before you even make any attempt to invest in anything, do your investigation. Make sure the company that you want to invest in is legit, because we have a lot of scammers, especially from now. We in October. The holidays are coming. This is around the time that you have scammers all over, right? Even among family, among couples, just be alert and make sure you protect yourself and your hard work money. Um, when we getting around the holidays, right? They will give you like fake or legit company names, right? That's why you need to investigate online bargains, fancy websites that can display immediately after purchase, that can disappear immediately after you purchase something. A lot of times, like, you have some website, they will be selling some items and stuff, and you purchase the items, the minute you pay for it, the whole website will disappear on you, and you'll be like, what the heck just happened? You're trying to check your purchase, your order and everything, and you don't see nothing at all. So it means you're not even going to get whatever you purchase, because it's a scam. So we need to be careful. You just don't go to any website and purchase things. Like, I've been like watching a lot of like social media stuff, and sometimes, you have people doing like advertisement and stuff like that. I would just watch and move on, because if I have not gone there and bought something personally, there are some people that you friends with who are advertising, so you know them, right? You interact, but you also, but still just be careful. Mhm. Just be careful. So, like, most of us know what financial exploitation is about, right? So I don't need to go into more details with that, right? I mean, I think I have given a couple examples, so people should be uh, mindful and fully aware, especially with the holidays coming, right? Um, so, by definition, I should have given the definition. So, by definition, financial exploitation is the illegal or improper use of another person's funds, right? Property or resources. It can happen to anyone. That's what I said earlier. Anyone can be a victim. So it's like you just need to protect yourself, but it is especially common among older adults, the elderly. So if you have an elderly um, person in your house home, you need to protect them. And also, like, I think workers from nursing homes and other places, hospitals should protect the clients, identity and their finances, especially if they don't have any family members who be able to do that for them because they become vulnerable. Uh-huh. And when it comes to wait a minute, who just texted me, or is it just my ears? Okay, maybe from the kids. All right. So y'all need to be very careful, right? Family members, family members and friends can be a perpetrator. They will use a lot of charms, persuasion, lies, threats, or other approaches to separate their victims from their money. Right? Sometimes, I mean, I'm not sure how many of you have watched or watches ID channel, investigation discovery channel. I watch that channel. Like, I think recently I haven't been watching as much as I used to before. Like, after work, I will watch it from the time that I'll get off work, before I go to bed. uh, and then on weekends, for most part of the day, I will watch that channel. But like, it became too much, so I haven't been watching as much because now I'm kind of like addicted to listening to audio stories on Pocket FM and other places. Like, I just love listening to a lot of um, books, and there are some other website that you have to read the books. It's not, there's no audio, so you have to read it. So if I have to read it, those are the days that I don't go out driving, and the days that I'm driving, I'm listening to the audio. So we already discussed the law of interest, check fraud, misuse of credit cards, scams, theft of property, embezzlement, right? You have some family members and people also, if they have your information, they can forge your information. I have known someone whose identity, he had identity theft, whereas someone forged his information. And we have some people who have gone through, someone have their date of birth, um, where they from, their name to the exact, and they forge their identity. So, and then they open up new accounts with your name, your birthday, and everything, and they living as you. I remember one of the shows that I watched in ID, there was this guy, he had to go to court to fight like all the debts that this impersonator has stolen from him. He has to go through hell. Like, there was a police officer and investigator who dedicated some of his personal time to help this dude. If it wasn't for that, he would have ended up paying all that debt. And that's like crazy. The way it went, I was watching and I was like, how is it that the one who is the real person is the one fighting so hard, and the other one is just out traveling and enjoying and using someone else's identity to rack up, a lot of debt. Some people have no heart. Seriously, they have no heart. And it's becoming scary because, like, nowadays a lot of things are being done electronically, and sometimes even when you wake up in the morning and you find out there's a breach in a bank that you save at night, you trying to figure out, okay, how much information they were able to like retrieve, like do they have my information and stuff like that. I had another experience. I was getting tickets on my car plate, and the description of the car, it wasn't my car. I drive Nissan. Like, this person was Toyota or something. And I was like, how the heck are they missing all that? But the person, I went to see my car, which I park outside, and I find out that the back plate was removed from my car. So now the one that I have, every time before I move my car, I go around, I do like an inspection to make sure that I have both plates, right? Because if I don't have both plates, I need to report that and turn in the remaining ones so DMV can report it and cancel the one that I have under my name. So this person was like racking up tickets under my name. They were sending me tickets, so I had to go to court and fight that. And thank God, the judge that I had, he was able to connect things. So they were like, okay, I need to like check um tickets that I have. I hardly get tickets because I'm a damn good driver. Every driver thinks they're a good driver, but I am a good driver. I don't get tickets just like that. I don't speed where I do not need to speed. I like taking the highway though. Yeah, because with the highway, you just keep on going. I mean, there's no traffic lights on the highway, so there's no distraction unless there's a traffic going on, then that slows you down. But the local street, you always have someone driving recklessly. So I prefer driving in the highway than the local street. Some people prefer the local street than the highway, and some people don't even know how to drive in the highway. When there is a merging, someone is merging into the highway, the main highway. When you go to the defense classes for driving, it tells you when you're driving in the highway and there's a merging, street into the main, do not slow down. But you always see some drivers slowing down. And I was like, they will be most likely to cause an accident. It tells you, well, some of them don't take the defensive class. So the defensive driving class, so they would not know that. But even like when you take the test, I believe there's a question in there to get your license, the permanent, the learner's permit to get your license. There's a question there that asks about that, so everyone pretty much should know. But I see a lot of drivers, when someone is merging in, they need to be going through this slow down. They shouldn't be doing that because you don't know the person behind you, how fast they come in, right? So and most accidents are caused by human errors, and I don't even know why that is. Like, a lot of people don't pay attention driving and being on the phone, like have a headset, connect to your car. So if someone calls you, you get an emergency call, you'll be able to communicate, or your family will be able to get hold of you. But aside from, if you don't have any of that, then don't be on the phone. Don't be driving and texting at the same time, because if someone, sometimes you may have a driver in front of you, they will stop abruptly, and if your your eyes are not on the road, you will miss that and hit the car. I mean, the new modern cars, I mean, some of them are automatic. They stop automatically, but the force brake affects your brake paddle. Yeah, if you have the car stop on its own, like I have that. Um, when, like, even when you reverse your car and it gets too close to the other car, like once you see the yellow flashing, that's warning. You have to stop, because if you go further back, and it will turn red and the car will abruptly stop. I don't like that. It happened to me once when I first had the car. I went out to a store and I parked in the parking lot. And when I came out, it was very dark. The street light, most of them were out. So when I was backing up, there was a black car behind me. I didn't realize there was a black car, and I did not realize how close I was. But the car stopped on its own, and it scared the shit out of me. Oh Lord Jesus. But then, as I got used to it, when I'm parking my car, at times it doesn't allow me to go further because I see the parking space and I know my car will fit there. But because I have that in there, it doesn't allow. At times I have this much space, like this much space, a big space that I can get myself in. But because it's program the program I have in my car doesn't allow me to go further back. And I'm like, um I have a mechanic. He was like, you can take that out. He was like, you can take that out, right? I was like, yeah, but I don't want to take it out. But it just like, it's for precaution. I hardly had to it hardly um have to use itself, because I pay attention, especially like, when I'm driving. That's why, like, if I want to listen to some stories, there are places that, I can listen to the audio so it doesn't distract me. Because when you're driving by yourself, you need to be like, at least get entertained. I have music, but sometimes I don't want to play music yet. I want to do something else. So that's what it is. So this guy, he was using my plate to get ticket, and you could see that he was not being a careful driver. It was like he was intentionally going to places, double parking, like restricted places, and because he wasn't using his plate, he was using my plate and stuff like that. So when I turned them in, I had to turn in that plate and get a new one. Thank God for that. If it wasn't for that, because I got a ticket that my car was going to be like booted, and I was like, "What the heck?" Like, I don't even know what tickets they talking about, because the person, like, I mean, they were sending when he gets the ticket, because it's my partial of my car plate. The ticket was being sent to my address. I mean, the person who stole my car plate does not know my home address, but with the DMV, with the plate number, they were able to know that that's my plate. So they were sending me the bill to pay, but I wasn't going to pay. It's not mine. OMG. Oh Lord, today I won't have enough time to do promo today because I need to go get something. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Um So, like, let's talk in terms of like if you feel if you suspect that you being financially exploited, right? Uh, you can contact. I mean, like this is for people who lives in abroad. I mean, people who lives in Africa. I'm not sure if that this will work for you guys, but you need to contact law enforcement, especially if you suspect fraud, theft, scams, or other criminal activities, forgery, and so forth. And then you can also contact an older person, like a financial institution, and also have them investigate for you. Always make sure that you gather up all information or evidence to confirm your concern, right? Like, when I talk about someone stealing from my credit card, signing a check, I got all the necessary information. My last bill, where my account was supposed to be zero, with no debt, I had all the information, all activities that I had prior to paying off everything. I have all that information when I went to the police station to report a theft, right? If you know you did it, don't even think about it, because when they do the investigation, they will bust you and you'll be arrested. So don't go and lie. Be truthful. Make sure that you're not going to report something that you did it, right? Because they will find out. You won't be smarter than them. Trust me. Some people will be like, so stupid. They put themselves in situation. Yeah. So if you see any form of unauthorized bank withdrawals, from your checking, from your savings, whatsoever, with your credit cards, if you have checks, personal checks, and you see like unfamiliar withdrawal, like I have, there's like, I'll be calling some of my credit card, because if my bank statement comes and I see a name that I'm not familiar with it, I call the bank or the credit card company to for them to provide me more information. I also, with some of them, I have an online. So if I go over there, put in the information, the necessary information, because they do ask personal information, you should be able to see detailed information of where that is coming from, because sometimes it may be you who purchased it, but the name appearing on the statement might look different from what you heard or what you know. So once you are able to get the information, you'll be able to like just withdraw your disputation, or go forward by reporting a theft and get reimbursed for it. Some people don't even pay attention. They don't check their withdrawals and um, credit card purchase regularly. I check. Like I have my bank app on my phone that I'm able to check. I have all my credit cards app on my phone that I check um, my activities. Is very important, and yeah. So, and then some family members, when they come to your home, they can uh, steal your card. I mean, like if I'm looking for my card and I can't find it because sometimes I misplace it. One time I have one of my savings card. I left it in my, I went and used it, and I did not use it for quite some time. And then when I tried to use it again, I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere possible that I can have. I even looked in my car, everywhere, the compartment, everywhere. I couldn't find it. And then I called the bank for them to send me a new card and cancel the old card because the number will change and everything. 3 days later, I found that freaking card underneath my car seat, the driver car seat. I don't know how it ended up over there, but I think it fell out of my pocket and I did not realize that. But once I found it, because I have a new one, I just cut it up and throw it away. But it's just crazy. So today, I'm gonna end here. Y'all be careful. The holidays are coming. Make sure that we protecting ourselves. That we checking our withdrawals and credit cards purchases, regularly. When you purchase things online, make sure that you go into a legit website, places that you have shopped before, being that scammers, will be all over the place on in the holidays. Just try to stick to places that you previously shopped, right? So you don't get someone, exploiting you financially. And then, relationships that we build on social media, we need to be very mindful and careful the people that we entrust in to provide certain information, and also entrusting um, to do things for us, or we entrusting to have, like, to go shopping and stuff like that. Just stick to your old to have, like, stick with your old um online places that you shop. Don't change it. Don't go to new places because things are less expensive and stuff. And prevention is better than cure. Yeah, so you better off protecting yourself. Don't have anyone come and tell you, oh, go to this website, their stuff is so cheap and stuff like that. And then you might order things, and then after you order, you go back and you can't find the website. That would be a bummer, right? Because it's not easy. So yeah, protect yourself, take care of yourself and each other. you know um I see you guys next week. Oh, I see you guys Saturday. Yeah, but I'm sure, like, you guys will see me roaming on social media somewhere every now and then. Yeah, just chilling, just like everyone else, right? Why is this thing not going? Mm, I didn't even realize that I didn't put it over there. So I need to step out for a couple minutes. I didn't think I thought I had enough time today to, like, go through everything, but I do not. So I apologize for that. Um, I'll see you guys Saturday or before that. So bye, guys. Thank you to everyone who um, liked the program, who invited friends, who shared the program. Um, I appreciate your time. So y'all take care, okay? One love. Bye. Now, what are you guys eating? Oh, let me see.